Good evening, everybody. I'm Joe Dog, and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. Uh, sort of waiting on everybody to show up. Dan's already here. Hey, Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing
And
just
I've
fine.
heard I've heard word that John may be on assignment for the next few months.
I'm not on assignment.
So nobody needs anything blown up or in a hurry right now.
Hey, Zach, and let's see. Let's just
Wait,
start
look at
at the
wait.
bottom.
We got Joe Bachman. We got A Creations. We got Donna Carleen. We got John Scarborough. Who the hell let him in here?
Yeah.
Let me see. Carl Whitman, Joe Bachman again. Darn, he must be a fan. The Launchpad is here.
Yeah,
And
that's
another
Zach.
Joe Bachman.
All
Hi,
right, I got to drink a little coffee.
that you know.
Yep.
Woo!
I
Oh,
just
wow.
finished. Oh,
That's good
hey,
celery right there if it shows up on green screen like that.
how do you like my coffee cup?
Popeye.
Yes, indeed.
How you like my coffee cup?
Yeah.
Somebody got all the freebies.
Awards.
Oh, that was good.
Alexa, shut up.
No, that was my phone beaming in a beacon.
Oh, okay. Ah, there's Sarah, and Bill's not here, so his fan club arrived before him.
Yeah. And Carl says I'm looking better than the last few times he's seen me. I'll take your word for it, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But I think you need to
Um,
get your prescription checked.
I've been doing some gardening.
Well, it was what 80 degrees today.
No kidding.
I was stuck at work, so. And tomorrow I have to rush home and then pick up Lindsay and then drive all the way back to Athens to get our taxes done.
Oh, you don't do the TurboTax or whatever?
Nah. I've been dealing with the same family of accountants for 35, almost 40 years.
Oh, okay.
And basically, we just go in there and hand him the paperwork, and he types it in the computer and prints it out, and we sign it and then go pay for it. And a few weeks later, we wind up with money in the bank.
Stephanie posted she'll be here tonight.
Yeah, she's running a little late.
She's having a meal at the moment.
Yeah. Getting the grub on.
Carl, I am planning on being there, but I'll probably wind up being late because Lindsay wants to hit a few places either before or after we get the taxes done. So, and what really irks me is I'm going to have to watch Drinking with the Davies on a replay instead of live. So,
And I'm going to tell everybody now our Stupid O'Clock Facebook, our two Stupid O'Clock Facebook pages got a hand slap today.
Ooh.
Because somebody posted how to drive Russian tanks.
Yeah. She was cute too.
Yeah, well, it was.
It wasn't really a hand slap. They fact checked us.
Yeah.
Which I found out who did the fact check. I know exactly who wrote it.
Yeah.
So I reported her to Facebook as a bully.
Who fact checked us?
Huh?
Who fact checked us?
Well, hang on a minute. I'll go look.
Tell me who it is. I'll ban them from the group. And
well, they're not in our group. Independence Facts Checker or something. Let me see, who is it? What's her name? You go down here, see the facts check. It tells you who actually. Her name is Hannah Hudnall.
Oh, that's a Hannah. There's your problem right there.
There we go. And that's all she does is she runs a facts check site, and apparently I don't know if she's anti-military or something like that. She's pro-Russian, and I'm pretty sure from the looks of the ads on there, she's pro-Trump too.
Oh, okay. Well,
So I reported her as a bully and told him that she is a troll, a pro-Russian troll. So
well, a Karen by any other name would stink just as much.
Yeah.
because you see, I self-identify as an independent fact checker. So when they fact check me, I fact check back.
Hey,
Hey, there's Stephanie.
Speaking of facts that need checking, there she is.
And there was some funny tweets gone out over the over the past week. How Russia says if they will no longer supply us any rocket engines.
Yay, Tesla!
Well, the problem is America. When was it, Stephanie? 2018, 2017. Said no more buying, no more Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why the Atlas is going away and all the other rockets are going away.
Mm-hmm.
How did the
So they're a little late.
Yeah.
now,
well,
the Atlas series literally dates back to the 50s.
Yeah.
mhm.
And it was like, what? Isn't that what they put the Mercury capsule up with? Was an Atlas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a Redstone.
Wait a minute. Let me go. I may be thinking about the Gemini.
Yeah, me
Me
too.
too. That's it's one of those little capsules. But
It's one of those rockets that's pretty much
but I think we're up to
held
what,
together by
Atlas,
the internal pressure of the fuel inside.
Atlas 5.
We're up
Yeah.
to an Atlas 5 XL or something. That's Atlas 5
Well, you
Eddie
know what?
Bauer edition or whatever the hell they're making now. But
We're all right.
Hmm?
We're all right. It started off on a Redstone rocket and ended up on an Atlas 9.
there we go. Yeah. Now, the Russians made this rocket engine when they were trying to put a man on the moon. Okay. And they were going to have 30 something of these things in the first stage of their N1 rocket that was going to send there. The rocket engines are real simple, solid, great. The only problem is they had 30 something of them in the bottom of this rocket. And all that
Tuning that
plumbing to get the fuel and oxygen down to those rocket engines was Russian plumbing. I'll just leave it at that. and, yeah. You know, Russia, the country that's well known for great plumbing. Okay. And
Well, you don't want to know. I've worked with Russian legacy equipment, and hope I never have to again. I'll put it like that.
did you have to use a hammer to change the light bulbs?
Wasn't
That's Russian legacy equipment for
Well,
you.
you know, with the particular equipment I worked with didn't have bulbs. So, but yeah, kind of in that general vein.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
probably,
Cuff
probably
Creation.
what you do for new programming is you smack it with a big hammer till it does what you want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they lost at least one cosmonaut because they modified the design of the parachute deploy without modifying the design of the parachute. And the techie who was installing it literally used a rubber hammer to beat the parachute into the compartment.
And from the fact that you said lost an astronaut,
Oh yeah,
So
I would say that
so
doesn't
that
work
rocket
very
was-
well.
they were in such a
Doesn't
hurry to
work
get
at
that
all.
rocket up there. They screwed up everything on that rocket. I mean, it was.
Oh, yeah.
They Yuri Gagarin himself went in and checked it and found over 200 faults that he said there's
yeah.
no way this rocket could fly. But the Communist Party said yes, this rocket will fly.
Into a million pieces.
And he
No, it what happened was that particular rocket, the parachute just didn't deploy on reentry.
Yeah.
It went up, but it didn't come down. And
Oh, it came down.
Oh, it came down.
It was
Yeah,
that
I've
sudden
seen-
stop at the
Hey,
end.
we've never left
that-
one
yeah.
up there.
And
we
Oh,
haven't.
it was horrible. I mean, it was just everything. the retro rockets that were supposed to stop it didn't fire until it hit the ground and it set the capsule on fire.
What
Now,
was
the capsule's made out of metal. It set the metal on fire.
Do these guys get?
Needless to say, the communists. What was his name? I'm gonna butcher this Russian. Nukes or
Yeah,
Nuksasov or something. I can't remember.
I don't remember the specific names anymore. It's been a while. But if can I give a shameless plug?
yeah.
Go find a New American Space Plan written by Travis Taylor and myself, because it's got all that detail in it. And I have not had occasion to reference the cosmonauts' names since I wrote that book.
Yeah.
Or I wrote my part of the book.
Let's see.
Well-
They've lost several, so I'm sitting here.
Oh
going,
yes, they've
They've
lost a
lost-
lot more than we have.
They've lost a lot more than they admit to losing.
Also true.
And Carl saying supposedly they left a woman up there.
Not that
I
I'm
have heard the
aware of.
recordings. I have
Yeah.
heard the record. There's a couple of Italian guys that put up their own listening station, intercepting Russian. Well, not just Russian, but anybody that launched anything into space. If they could figure out the frequency, they would record stuff, and they
Yeah.
recorded a bunch of very disturbing tapes.
Yeah.
So,
Now, I'm
Joe,
going to get.
I put a link to the book in Messenger.
Okay. The I can give you one true evidence that we could not have faked the moon landing. Do you think Russia would let us pull that stunt off?
Nope.
They'd
Yeah.
have snitched like a.
oh Lord, it would have been.
Snitch,
It
they'd
would
have
have been.
screamed it.
They would have been all over every world news outlet if they had any way.
Komarov.
Komarov.
Yeah.
That's the name I couldn't remember.
Komarov.
Yeah, it's one of those names that makes my name look short. So,
It's perfectly comprehensible, but then so does Welsh when I try and read it. Just can't pronounce the stuff.
Well, you got to ignore it about 3/4 of the letters in Welsh.
Yeah, 47,
um,
47 consonants and a vowel. Usually it's a U at the end.
when Yuri
Hey.
Gagarin wasn't married at the time, and Komarov had a wife and kid. And
Oh.
when Gagarin went in, looked at this rocket, saw how crappy it was, he actually volunteered to take Komarov's place, but they wouldn't let him.
Well, yeah, he was trying to force the issue because he figured, at this point he'd already become the first man in space, and so therefore he was a Soviet hero, and he figured that if he could force the issue and get assigned to the mission, then they would have impetus to fix the problems,
Mm-hmm.
and they wouldn't let him.
Yeah,
And then shot him down in an aircraft.
No, that was definitely a training accident.
Yeah, they're training with live rounds, dogfighting. But I do got to throw a shout out to Mr. Musk for supplying internet service to Ukraine.
How cool
Yeah.
is that?
The vice president says, "Hey, you go to Mars, you land rockets, you're going to the moon. Help us, while whatever make Starlink active." He said it's on the way. Did you see the truck that rolled up?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
Breaking news.
What?
Europe's largest nuclear power plant on fire as Russia attacks city of Enerhodar.
They deliberately shelled the reactor facility.
Okay.
I
Yeah, we're getting.
I had a friend who does defense work pop
Mm.
me a link on that just before I came on.
Well, that sounds like we're about to get involved. But Elon also posted out today. Starlink is the only non-Russian internet service in Ukraine right now. Use it wisely and carefully. And then
Yep.
gave instructions on what to do. Place the dish as far away from people as possible. Turn it off when not in use.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much
Upset.
go radio silent with it.
Yeah, duck and cover.
Yeah. Maybe Zach probably has some more info on that. Oh, other than that,
It'll be a cheerful night, isn't it?
Yeah. Other than that, how's everybody else's week gone?
I've been planting seeds. I got all my yard debris just burnt. All the sticks are gone. Now I just got to figure out what to do with the leaves.
Now, did you take the burned debris and spread it back through your garden to re-fertilize the soil?
Not yet, because I'm sure I've got more burning to do, and there's quite a few dead rats in that burn pit. So I'm waiting until they're thoroughly. I'm waiting for them to be thoroughly cremated.
Well, that makes good fertilizer too.
It did.
And Carl says he's just glad to be over the stomach flu. And I heard a rumor, Stephanie, that you had a pretty good weekend.
I did. I went to confinement, and
where was it?
It was great. It was great.
No, where?
Where was it? It was in Lebanon, Tennessee.
We got a bill.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble now.
Now.
Hey, I didn't touch any controls.
I did it.
Fashionably late.
Yeah.
Weren't the only one. I just got here a few minutes ago myself.
Hey, if the auction went a little
I
bit
slid
long,
in at the bell, let me tell you.
Of course.
Well, I had the day from hell, and I just didn't even get a good suntan out of it. So I've been playing catch up since I got home. So,
and Stephanie,
anyway.
You missed it when we came on. I left John off screen. I said, give the introduction, Dan. And I said, and John's going to be on assignment for the next few months.
I was tempted to just disappear and let you explain it to the audience.
hey, we just tell people you were off someplace we didn't know where, blowing stuff up like you do for having a good time on a Saturday night.
Actually, John, what I would have told you to done is put on your BDUs.
That tank helmet.
Yeah. And change your background.
Did you see? I posted on Stupid O'Clock the gypsy that pulled his farming tractor out and stole the Russian APC.
Yeah.
Oh, was that what that video was? I knew it was a tractor towing a
Okay. The vehicle he was towing was it was a variation of the MTLB, which is a really nice armored personnel carrier. And it had the air defense radar on top, but it was folded down. That's what all that junk was on top. You couldn't tell what it was. And MTLBs, I got to drive one in Wildflick in West Germany. They're fun because they're real low to the ground. Unlike American APCs, which are kind of boxy and bounce around a little bit, these things are real low to the ground. And they're manual transmissions. So,
whoa.
Yeah. So, and the guy who was running the thing goes, does anyone here know how to drive a manual transmission? Yep.
Yeah.
I grew up in Tennessee. Yes, I know how to drive a manual transmission.
Oh, just about anything that's got one. Yeah.
And I got it, and he laughed at me because when I got in the driver's hatch, I said, "Okay, do you have to change gears of a hammer?" He goes, "No. That's the T-34. They don't make those."
We got a big wrench for that.
Joe,
Yeah.
hold that coffee cup up again.
What?
No, it just looks really, really big for some reason.
It is. It's huge.
Okay.
A soup cup. It ain't a coffee
Soup cup. Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. What he was. Okay.
A normal plastic spoon.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. All right.
You sure that's
Okay.
not a hat?
Here's one for Bill.
Can't hurt. Yeah.
Very good, John. That was good.
What?
I'm stronger than spinach because I eats me spinach. I'm probably the sailor man.
He was over in the, he was muttering like Popeye used to do.
No.
My earlier evening, when the reason why I was late getting here consisted of contacting Facebook to notify them and provide the death certificate so that they could take my husband's account and turn it into a memorial account.
Right.
Good.
You gotta give them a death certificate for just to do that.
Yep.
Mhm.
How crappy.
No, because if I didn't like you and I wanted to screw you up, I could kill your account. Because once it's memorialized, it cannot be converted back.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, if you disliked somebody, you could, and they didn't have that requirement, they
You could cyber kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So.
Oh, John, you'll like this. I got another letter today informing me that I've not been using my veterans benefits.
I got a half a dozen of them downstairs.
I'm not a veteran.
Well, that explains it then.
No, yeah, that
You've been a
explains why I
veteran.
haven't
You
used
have been using your veterans benefits.
Yeah.
Say, Dan, you haven't been using your veterinarian's benefits.
Oh no, I've been using the veterinarian. Believe me, we had 20 cats and 2 dogs at the same time. We used a lot of veterinarians. Some of them we didn't give them our correct names and never went back again. But cats got fixed. Sometimes it took a large wrench, but it's hard to unscrew those. Well, I'm not going to make that joke.
No, but Stephanie got it anyway.
Yep.
That was definitely a green room joke. Yes, I'm only sorry that I'm going to be missing drinking with the Davies tomorrow night because I've got to go get my taxes done and probably be late to the green room. And I really need a green room this week. Let me tell you, this has been not stressful but frustrating. We've had several instances of stuff that I have been asked to do a recheck on material that had been put on hold for a quality defect. And I'm going, you don't trust the people that told you it was on hold and failed all the quality tests? You want me to do it? What, you think I'm going to be more generous than they are?
Now I know what to look for.
Really? Oh, it failed this one? Let me tell you what it's going to fail this time.
Oh, and
But yeah, last weekend was good. It was a good convention.
good.
They wouldn't let me do any programming, except they did have a memorial service for several people that had passed, with Daryl being the principal one. So I brought his pith helmet and steampunk goggles.
Okay.
Oh.
I saw him sitting on the table. I saw the helmet sitting on the table. So
Yeah. So
well, I saw a post on Facebook today. It says 284 days to Halloween. That means I've got 276 to get my acting gear.
Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Nah, it's you last minute Charlie on that. I know.
So what? It's the 28th through the 30th.
Yes.
I'll have to remember that and go ahead and schedule vacation time. I think I've already got LibertyCon penciled in so that I can fill out the vacation forms. I know we've got the room. I know we've got the memberships.
And Stephanie, start picking out a place you want to go eat dinner at. Probably April 22nd or 23rd.
Okay.
Because I'll be down there for the weekend.
Okay.
What are you doing down there?
Same thing I always do.
tried to take
Looking
over
for
the
trouble.
world.
Oh, okay.
Say, Blaine.
Joe, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but there
Yeah.
are no launchable rockets at the Huntsville Museum.
Depends on how much flammable material you put underneath them.
They're
I
laying
thought
on their side. I don't think he's going to be able to stand them up.
Hey, Stephanie,
There
do you
are no
remember?
longer any lying on their side, except they do have the Saturn V
Yeah.
inside the Davidson Center, and it's been completely refurbed. And it is on its side simply because it's too big to stand up in an airspace.
In a tornado alley.
Yeah,
That
really.
too.
Yeah.
I thought Dan said lunchable rockets.
Now, Stephanie, the Huntsville.
But we can make them out of bologna if you want.
Yeah. The Huntsville Saturn V was just a test article, right?
I believe.
I believe that's correct. Yes.
Now,
I
just
think Houston
recently-
has the only one that was flight ready to a point.
That I couldn't tell you because I don't really know that much about the Houston Rocket Park.
Stephanie may remember this. About 2 years back, NASA was trying to get rid of a Saturn I. I think it may have been Huntsville that was trying to get rid of it. They would give it. They basically said they'd give it to anybody that could haul it off.
Don't know anything about that.
Don't laugh.
Saturn.
I was trying to figure out how to haul off a Saturn rocket because
I can understand that. There's a Saturn I at the Rocket Park at the Space and Rocket Center. There's a Saturn I at the rest area, the Welcome Center along I-65 coming down from Tennessee. Those are both legit rockets. As opposed to the Saturn V that's standing in the rocket park, which is a mock-up that was made tornado-proof, basically.
Yeah. Specifically
it was-
for Huntsville.
Yeah.
it was in 2019. I just found it. It was in 2019, and it was at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Alabama.
Oh, that's right. There's one in there too.
And it was a Saturn I Block 1 booster portion.
The booster portion. Okay. So yeah, that's just that. Yeah, that's not the whole rocket. That's just the first stage.
Yeah, but it'd still make a great houseboat.
No, probably not.
You know, that'd still make an awesome playhouse. Let me tell you. You put the tree. It'll be like a tree house on. You put like a fort up on top of it. Throw water balloons at people as they go by.
A water balloon from that height would probably hurt.
Well, no,
Probably
it's
so.
only like 100 feet high.
Probably crack a skull.
Like dropping a penny from the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
Mythbusters proved that wrong.
Go. Yeah, how'd that end up? I never
They
did
were
see that one.
actually charging $250,000 shipping handling fees. But
Okay.
you could.
If
come
I
and
had
get
that
yourself.
much, I could buy me a boat.
Hmm.
Okay, Joe, what was that date to save for lunch, dinner, or whatever?
We'll be down the 22nd through the 23rd.
Okay.
And I got to plan something with Fritz and Boomer and Susan.
Okay.
Dan, in your Facebook messages, I sent you a photo, something I did in PixArt earlier while I was endlessly waiting for my doctor's appointment. But
Okay.
I bet if John saw it, he'd probably put it as his background.
Oh,
Just so you know.
well, yeah, I can understand why.
You remember the chili cook-off we had at HallowCon?
Yeah.
Told you I had all those peppers that came out of the garden. I cut them up and put them in the chili. I saved the seeds from them. Guess what I planted yesterday?
More peppers.
Well, seedlings. I don't know if they'll come up or not.
chili seeds.
Habaneros, jalapenos, red chilies, cayenne, long cayennes, and some sweet bells and bells.
Now, if you would plant your habaneros, habanero tomato, habanero tomato, habanero tomato, and then alternate it on the next 2 rows, you have some nice tomatoes.
Really? Never heard that.
Hot tomatoes.
My problem is finding sulfur.
Yeah, you can't find that shit.
No, you can't find it anymore. Everything's flipping. It's pesticide sulfur. You can't find any gardening sulfur. I need to look online and see if I can find it.
Pharmacy.
What's that chemistry supply shop? The one that's been in business for 150 years or whatever.
Dow, DuPont.
No.
Well, I know.
Cheech and Chong.
I know sulfur.
No,
and,
those would be entirely different peppers.
sulfur and motor oil is a great cure for the mange.
Really?
Yeah. If you happen to suffer from that, yes, you just kind of wallow around in a tub of it. Yeah.
For for your dog when your dog has
we've treated a couple of bird dogs that way.
Anyway,
and it was used crankcase oil, not brand new, but
it's got to be used oil. You don't want to waste your money on new oil.
Of course, it could be cooking oil too. It doesn't matter what oil you use.
Well,
you just want like powdered sulfur.
And the problem is, I can't. The only powdered sulfur I can find is a pesticide, and I don't want to put that on my damn onions and peppers. If you add, and the bad part is, I don't need much. I need like a tea bag's worth. Just enough sprinkle around the bottom of my peppers, my onions, and my garlic.
Buy a chemistry set.
Well, this is enough. This is enough to. I can't get into the comments, but found it on Amazon. Type in organic sulfur.
Hey, there you go. Organic. Why didn't I think of that one?
But I just in the private chat on here, I just gave you the link to what I found on Amazon. Now, it's probably more than you need, but
that's the bad part. I only need like a teaspoon or a tablespoon, maybe.
What for the whole garden?
Just for my peppers, basically. Because you don't put it on. You don't want to put it on like tomatoes because I think sulfur will actually kill tomatoes. But you put just a little bit in the soil next to your. See, what was it? Onions need sulfur to be good, spicy onions. Garlic, if you want good spicy garlic, you need some sulfur in it. Peppers. And there's something else. I can't remember what it is related to peppers. Oh, nightshade. Yeah. If you're going to kill somebody, you need sulfur with your nightshade just to make it really potent.
Well, tomato is a nightshade, and so is potato.
I know it's something as simple as just watering your garden every day will keep your tomatoes more sweet and less acidic.
But I like acidic tomatoes. I do Italian stuff.
I can't. I'll be back in the hospital.
Has anybody watched Reacher yet? That when you brought up the acidic tomatoes.
No. I've seen that one thing where he gets arrested. It was on the internet, like watch that, and it's kind of funny. He sees the cops coming. He realizes he's going to get arrested. He looks around the restaurant, realizes he doesn't want the cops to start shooting people, so he's already ready to get arrested when the cops walk in, and they're like,
or he has all his stuff out of his pockets.
He's already pulled everything out of his pockets, put it on the table where they
hands laying on either side of the peach pie.
Oh my!
But what happens is they find a burned out vehicle, and the VIN number was, had all the crusty, burned stuff on it. So they're trying to get the VIN number. So they go into the car and they find a pack of ketchup and a pack of salt, and he mixes the two together, and he says it's an old army trick to pull the VIN number. It it gets all the crust and crud off because of the acetic acid and the salt. And then the guy says, "You and you put that stuff in your body?" He goes, "Yeah, and enjoy every bit of it."
See, the thing was, the Jack Reacher movies had Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
And if you've read the books, Tom Cruise ain't Jack Reacher.
No, this guy was Jack Reacher.
This guy, let me put it this way. This guy is Jack Reacher. Okay.
I mean, he's 6'5". He's 6'5" tall and probably 32 to probably 36 to 38 inches wide.
I love the scene where he's going into that diner, and the guy and his girlfriend are coming out of the diner, and the guy is just chewing out his girlfriend because she left a 40% tip.
Yeah,
and the little girl that is like, I'm not good at math. He says, how am I going to make any money if you keep throwing away like that? And he's about to smack the crap out of her. Jack Reacher just stops and looks at him. Guy turns around and goes, "You got a problem with this?" Jack Reacher just stares at him and he goes, and the guy goes, "I've had a bad day. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen again." Him and his girlfriend drive off, and all he did was look at him.
Never said a word.
Hey, we got guests.
Yep, we got guests. We got to behave now.
Yeah, there's children in the room, guys.
Everybody put your pants back on.
Yeah, there's children in the room. You're here.
Whatever. Simpsons this, Simpsons that. Who knows anything about the Simpsons? They've been around for only 45 years past their prime. No, it's good to be here, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I was tied up with some other things, but it's good to see everyone. Hi. Happy Throwback Thursday. Good to see you.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Yeah. Brian. We were talking about the Amazon series Jack Reacher.
Oh, yeah, the new one that just came out with Alan Ritchson in the title role. Yes, I know his work from Smallville. He was Aquaman on Smallville. He was also in the short-lived and not-so-very-good rebooted series of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Michael Bay Productions and Paramount. Let's not talk about it. And I know he was on the DC series, I believe, Titans, as one member of Hawk and Dove. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So, Alan, you've done well for yourself, young man. Have I seen your stuff in Titans yet? Maybe, maybe not. But I did like you in Smallville's Aquaman. So you have a really good history with the DC universe. I'm proud that you're able to play Jack Reacher. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment or speculate back to you with the desk.
The best way to describe Reacher, John Wick mixed with
what's that?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, which, by the way, I just rewatched that movie Taken the other night. What a great film that is.
So mix John Wick and Darkman?
With Taken. Yeah. I like it. That's a good combo. That means there's a lot of fisticuffs, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of sweat, there's a lot of tears, and there are people who are duking it out to settle their differences, Joe Dog McKeel. I respect the heck out of that.
And don't let your kids watch it.
No, of course not. I mean, I'm a grown man, so I don't have to worry about that. So
let's just say it ain't cost the guns and the violence.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of kids and movies, we all know what comes out tomorrow.
Oh, yes. That little children's movie called The Batman? Yeah.
Yeah. Laura's taking our 13-year-old niece to Indy on Saturday. They're going to do a little IKEA thing.
Oh, okay.
All that stuff. But Sunday, I thought about taking her to see The Batman. And then I got to thinking, okay, she's 13. She'll be 14 this year. But I'm like, knowing what little I know about it and what all we've seen on the trailers, is this movie for a 14-year-old. She thoroughly enjoyed all the Spider-Man movies. She thoroughly enjoyed Ghostbusters Afterlife. But, yeah, it just... And, of course, I've already mentioned it to her in the past, but
Well, I mean, Spider-Man's all bright and sunshine and rainbows, whereas Batman is the complete opposite. So,
Yeah.
you may be, in the words of our good friend Admiral Akbar, please, it's a trap. It may be a trap that you're walking into. So, I don't know, man. This new Batman looks R-rated to me. Is it rated 13 or is it rated R? Do we know? Does anyone know that off the top of their head? Because this Batman movie may be the first R-rated Batman film ever made.
As far as I've been able to figure it out, it's rated PG-27.
I know, right?
Rating on the Batman.
You got to take your grandparents.
PG-27. That's a big number there, Dan.
Now, Ryan, since you're the big movie buff,
PG-13.
13.
I'm going to throw some movie trivia at you since we're talking about PG-13. What was the first PG-13 movie?
Was that the 1984 independent film known as Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Nope.
Oh, it wasn't Temple of Doom.
He really thought he had it there for just a second.
Honestly, I thought that was the movie that set the standard for PG-13 because of how dark that film was in '84. But
give us a hint. What year was it, Joe Dog?
Was that the Disney Treasure Island?
No.
Or one of the pirates got his head took off by a cannonball on screen?
No.
That was a
No,
different.
it'd been way before that. I think.
Do we know what year this was? Do we know what year this was released, Joe Dog?
It was after Gremlins and Goonies. They're the reason for PG-13.
Oh.
Red Dawn.
Yep.
Oh, it was Red Dawn.
Yep.
Oh.
Wow, that's
Okay.
a Leah Thompson. That is a Leah Thompson, Swayze, etc.,
Jennifer Grey, yeah.
classic.
Jennifer Grey. And
Yeah.
You had what was his name? Charlie Sheen was in that movie.
Charlie
Yeah.
Sheen.
Leah Thompson, I gotta say, Leah Thompson, she looked great in every movie she was in.
Hey, she was the only reason that Howard the Duck is watchable. Okay, that's
Probably.
wouldn't say that.
I haven't seen that 90-minute piece of you know what, but I've seen
I
clips.
like that movie.
Now, Stephanie, did you
Well, the
just
thing was-
Google that up? Yeah, Stephanie Googled it up.
Thank you.
Oh, dear.
Howard the Duck was true to the comic. Okay, that's
Yes,
all
it
I'm
was.
gonna say. But you got to remember,
And so was
it's based
Blade,
on a
for that
comic.
matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was true to the comic.
I wasn't fond of the duck suit, but
Now, was Howard the Duck in what movie was he in just recently?
Guardians of the Galaxy
been
Volume
one of
1?
the-
Yeah,
Guardians.
Was he in Guardians 2 Volume 2?
I think it was 2.
It's the one where he's sitting there talking with some people.
Yeah, that's probably Guardians
They're
Volume
talking
2.
to Cosmo the space dog from the original Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah.
comic.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
I
You know, of
thought
all
it
the
was-
20, there's like 20,000 MCU movies, and I think Guardians Volume 2 is well, no, that's not true. That one and a few others are the only ones I haven't seen.
Okay. No, he was in Guardian. I can't remember if he's in 2, but he was in 1.
Oh, yes, he was in Guardians 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
He was
I
in the
saw that
cave.
in
he was in the
theater.
collector's shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
When
sitting
they
there
went to
drinking
get-
a beer or something.
Yeah.
He was in one of the tubes in the collector's
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah, he was drinking.
He was a collector's item until
He always had a martini. Yeah.
He's always had a drink in his hand.
and-
or a cigar.
Or a cigar,
that
thank
one-
you.
Or
Dan.
both.
The one slave tried to open this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The girl tried to open tried to grab the
Was it the
Thank you.
object?
Yeah. And the whole shop was destroyed, and it
Oh,
released
jeez.
all of the collector's collection.
It's pretty massive,
And
isn't
at
it?
the very end of Guardian of the Galaxy's 1, it shows the collector sitting down in his destroyed shop, and Howard the Duck and the space dog are both sitting there like, well, what now?
See,
You're
I
letting-
always
You're letting him lick you? You
I-
know what he's been doing with that mouth?
I don't
now
know.
I thought that was Latka the Russian space dog.
Really?
No, it wasn't like
Laika-
that. It was
Laika
he was a
terrier.
comic book character. And
Oh,
somehow or
okay.
another, the Russian shot the dog into space. He ran through a radiation field.
You went that
and
way.
Developed superhuman abilities. He was
Really?
intelligent as a person.
Telepathy.
Is that true? Wow.
Yeah, and human level intelligence.
Oh.
I
So
can't,
that's where
I can't remember that one's name. No, I do remember Laika because I was born the same minute that dog got launched into space. So kind of stuck in my mind.
We're showing our age here on this show. My goodness.
And
I've
Seth
never made it
Green,
that a secret.
Seth Green did the voice for Howard the Duck
Yes, he
in
did.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mhm.
I know him better as Scott Evil from the Austin Powers films, but there you go.
Yeah. Now, who did the original voice in the Howard the Duck movie?
Ooh. It wasn't Mark Hamill, was it?
No.
I
No.
didn't think so.
That would be very, very recognizable. I mean,
That'd be weird.
Mark's only got about 20 different voices he can do. So, you know.
It was some other
Oh,
dude that did the voice.
It's the comedian.
That narrows
Okay.
it down.
Oh, shoot. Not Gilbert Godfrey, but the other one
Thank
like him.
God.
I was gonna say Gilbert Gottfried.
According,
George Burns or Jack Benny?
No.
I want to say Booger.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Jack Benny the Secretary of the Treasury?
according
And then
to
Jane Wyman was the
Wikipedia,
First Lady, right?
according to Wikipedia, it was Chip Zane.
Oh, Chip Zane.
Okay.
Zane. Does anyone else know that name? Because I sure as heck don't.
No.
Yes, you do. You just don't know it.
Oh, I just don't know.
Chip
Okay.
any relation to the fellow
You
that
do,
wrote-
but you don't, but you do.
What relationship does this person?
No. There's a very famous writer of westerns named. No. That's Zane Grey. Excuse me, my mistake.
I was gonna say, what person are we singling
Now-
out here?
Chip Zane is one of those guys that in any major TV series you've seen the guy. You
Really?
just didn't know his name.
That's a good question. I wonder what else he's been in though.
He used to be in Ryan's Hope, the soap opera.
Okay.
Okay.
He used to be in Love Sydney, Reggie. Of course, he was in Howard Duck. Shell Game, Newhart, American Playhouse.
Really? That's a long resume.
Wing. He was in Wings.
Oh, I do like Wings. I remember
Almost
watching reruns of Wings when I was a young lad. Yeah.
What was he? What was his character in Wings?
He played Bippy the Clown.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. I'm starting to see a bit of an image here because
Yep.
Wings was something that was re-aired a lot when I was growing up. I think it was on the USA Network at the time.
He was in a TV show called Now and Again, Deadline, All My Children,
Oh boy.
Son of the Beach, Law and Order.
Well, I think
Right.
everybody who's anybody has shown up on Law and Order at least once. I mean,
Yeah.
that show's been
Oh.
going on for how long now? 21 years?
Okay. Do you remember the comedy Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Undead?
No.
This is
Okay,
before my
good.
time.
Because
Sounds
it was forgettable.
fascinating, but
Um, He played Dr. Marsh. He was also in He's been in Rescue Me, Ugly
the
Betty,
fireman drama.
Chicago PD,
Mm-hmm.
just Bull, House of Cards.
Some of those shows are still airing, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Well, those last two were 2018.
Bull is still going. Chicago PD is still going, which, by the way, I don't understand those Chicago shows. Because to me, they're soap operas. They're not crime dramas, but whatever. Some people may
I think
disagree
they're
with
all
me in the
soap operas
comments
to me.
section, but I'm just saying, after watching a few episodes of Chicago Fire, that to me is a soap opera.
my wife today decided she was going to subscribe to Disney Plus so she could see the Beatles thingy. That's
Oh, the documentary.
Yep.
8 days a week.
Are you gonna
I don't
watch?
have the faintest idea, but
Is she
now
gonna
The one that
watch
Ron
the-
Howard did.
the
No,
now
this
I
is the
can
one
actually
Peter Jackson did.
watch the
Oh,
Mandalorian,
the Let It Be one. Yeah.
Yeah.
which I've never been able to see. I've been waiting for it to come out on DVD, which it probably never will. But
Yeah.
now I
It
can
might.
go watch the damn thing.
Now you can watch Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett,
Mandalorian,
Mandalorian,
The Bad Batch.
Is What If
Wanda,
ever going to come out on
WandaVision.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you hear?
DVD?
Did you hear the news that all the Marvel Netflix shows are going to drop on Disney Plus in 2 weeks? Yeah, all the
Good.
Marvel shows that were on Netflix are being transferred over to Disney Plus, so now you get to watch those in the comfort of your own home there, Dan.
Now it's
Well,
gonna. Now it's
I've
gonna
already
be.
got Netflix and I've already got CW, so I've been watching them all along.
Oh, well,
Now-
I'm just saying Disney Plus has the rights now to the Marvel Netflix shows.
Now I wonder how this is going to work when the show starts getting the Netflix splash instead of Disney.
Mm.
I
Oh,
wonder
you
if
mean,
that'll
yeah,
get-
the opening crawl, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Disney Plus, make that little click sound at the very end of the Disney Plus intro.
Mm.
Yeah, just like they did with Book of Boba Fett. It's the same thing.
And Tinkerbell's going to fly by and go ting.
Yeah, on a new episode of Daredevil, before Matt Murdock enters the courtroom, you're going to say, "This show is in color." Ting.
Swish
I'm like,
and
no.
flick.
Exactly.
This is a
Thank
Quinn
you.
Martin
I was wondering what
production.
the original catchphrase was of Tinkerbell. Thanks for bringing that up. Because I missed that. I haven't
Now,
watched the original Peter Pan movie in a long time.
Okay, if people haven't seen Spider-Man by now, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But seeing
Which
Matt
one?
Murdock,
There's like 30 of them.
the latest one.
Dan hasn't seen it yet.
If people haven't,
Oh, never mind.
if people have not seen it, Matt Murdock is in as a legal counsel for Peter Parker.
Nice.
Very nice. That's
I
a
like
great
Daredevil. I like Charlie Cox as an actor. He's really good as Murdock/Daredevil.
Yes, so and it is the Charlie Cox.
Yes, Charlie Cox. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's a strange word to say on air in front of the younger viewers, but that is
It's
his legal name.
COX.
Yes, it is, but it is his legal name. So just saying.
Not to be
I
confused
can't believe
with
Ryan
Ronnie Cox.
went there.
I'm sorry, but there may be people who may be confused. They're like, well, how do you pronounce this? Well, it is spelled COX, just to be clear. But,
Just like the media company.
I was in the
but that's
military
different.
for years
Yeah.
until I realized that H&K weapons are pronounced Heckler and Koch. Okay.
Oh, really? Okay. I was sorry. Maybe I wasn't privy to that, but
I always thought it was Koch.
really?
Yeah, yes, and I was stationed in Germany. You think I'd have figured that out?
Whoa, that's
It's Coach.
no wait.
That's what it is.
Is it?
And
Probably buy one.
I just forgot her name. Dad damn it,
The other person's name?
Carol and
Ted and Ellis.
Oh,
Is it Carol Brady?
Taylor.
Christmas Carol.
I
Taylor.
had her as my guest of honor. Good
Taylor.
God. Taylor
Taylor
Hoke.
Oh, Taylor. Who? Okay. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure where we're
You
going
don't
with this.
know that name.
I
Yeah.
probably don't.
Joe Dog had a Dan moment there.
You should.
I could see her. I could hear her voice.
What's the name of the person?
I remember her wife. I could not remember Taylor's name.
Mm.
Well, this is the beauty of the show. The
Glad I
more
was
you
able to
know.
step in there.
Thank
See
you,
what I did?
Dan.
See what I did there? You're welcome. I expect a check in the mail next week.
Taylor Hoke, doesn't she dungeon master a DM game at LibertyCon Gaming?
Yes.
That's where I know her from.
Yeah.
And she also hosts one at her and Carol's home.
Really?
And
It's a 3-day weekend.
She had the dungeon tile stuff and had the whole table
oh
covered
yeah,
in dungeon tile.
it takes up a whole table. It's a 3D map.
My only thing,
That's a lot of 3D.
she would cover it up with a bath towel so the players couldn't see it and try to reveal it one little
One
section
room at a time.
I was like,
Yeah.
somebody really needs to get her a nice big piece of silk instead of a bath towel. Because
This is true. We should crowdfund that.
Can we get a Kickstarter going for that?
there we go.
Or what's the other one? Indiegogo?
The Taylor Hoke silk
Or a
crowdfunding.
GoFundMe.
And she'll wonder what the heck we're buying for that's made out
Coming
of silk.
soon to
That's what's funny.
GoFundMe.com, which, anyone can set one of those up, right?
I am not.
Stupid o'clock is buying me
my
silk
John,
stuff.
not
I
even
don't
in the
know.
bedroom.
It's-
No. Have you ever heard any of her albums?
Yeah.
Dan?
Not only is she a great author and all that, she's actually an international musician.
Musician.
Yeah, that word.
Were you okay? I was gonna say, are you about to say that she belongs in a museum?
Mm.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, she's a young. Kid.
Okay, wait a minute. Everybody stop.
I
Dan,
figured.
put your microphone closer to your mouth. Thank you.
People will not thank you for that suggestion. They don't want to hear me.
No,
That's
they probably
much
don't.
better.
It's better.
I've got to mute my
it's
mic
better
for a
to hear
second.
you than to
That's okay.
like.
Rap.
Oh my gosh, what is going
What?
on? All this talk about microphones and GoFundMe campaigns.
Hey,
What's all that fog around Joe Dog right now? I don't understand that.
I think he's taking a commercial break. He just needs a minute to collect his thoughts.
he's rolling
Oh,
up too tight.
I think he just charged his thoughts.
Did he?
It's just me, myself, my
Am I aware of
microphone.
this? Okay, maybe not.
Yeah. No, we got some spiders around here, and they bark.
Oh, they do?
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I was not aware
Yeah,
of
and
this.
that one got bad breath.
It's them damn pickled eggs again, ain't it?
That's no
No.
fun.
How were those, by the way?
They're good. I've still got a couple of them saved in the fridge for special occasions.
Whenever Chris shows up.
Yeah.
God.
Ryan, just so you know,
the
I do-
Marquis
I
de
do
Sade
canning.
does not know everything about
Oh,
torture.
we need to tell Ryan this story. Just so Ryan knows, I do canning. I can my own tomato. That's why I'm growing tomatoes and stuff.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And Joe Dog was talking about how he loved pickled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris said, if you get any pickled eggs,
Crippled eggs.
Crippled eggs.
I will kill you. Okay, that's it. I will shoot
That-
you if you get.
That is a direct quote, by the way.
It is, but let John finish the story.
Hashtag crippled eggs.
You never
About-
say I can't do something or you'll kill me, because I will take that as a challenge, and I own sniper rifles. So,
Okay. I will take thy word for it. Thanks.
so I went down. I found a good recipe for pickled eggs,
Mm-hmm.
or what I thought was a good recipe for
At the time.
but not being a pickled eggs aficionado
Mhm.
like some people.
Mm.
Anyway, I
Yeah.
found a recipe. I told Joe, "Hey, does this sound like a good recipe?" Joe says, "Yeah, it sounds good."
Yeah.
He says, "Okay, I'll make you some." So I did the dozen eggs, pickled them, and put them in the jar and all that sort of stuff like that.
Someone's having too much fun in the chat while
Well,
John's
I'm-
trying to
yeah,
tell
that
a very
was
heartwarming
Dan.
story.
That was Dan.
Was that Dan? Okay.
Someone's having too much fun in the chat.
I'm
So
evil.
I made
We'll have to
Joe
put
Dog-
Dan Hollifield in timeout, John.
I made Joe Dog a big jar of pickled eggs, dozen
Mm-hmm.
pickled eggs, and brought them to HallowCon with me.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And I knocked out 8 of them.
Did you?
Yeah,
Wow,
and then he
yeah.
ate the eggs.
Boy, this just got weird. Okay.
Now you know why he muted the mic.
I was going to say, now we know why Joe Dog McKeel had to take a commercial break for a little while there. Gotcha. Boy, that's a very twisted, weird, enlightening, educational story, John. Thank you for that. That's an image that's going to keep me up
Welcome
tonight.
to our minds.
And Ryan, if you ever make it down to HallowCon, Chris will warn you. If you see me smiling, run.
Hold your breath.
No,
and
Do
run.
not breathe.
I was going to
If
say,
you-
run in the opposite direction.
No. If you see me smiling, get nervous. If I giggle, run.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. See, now I know what I'm in
Even
for.
Stephanie will tell you that. If I'm smiling, I'm thinking about it. If I giggle, I've already done it.
Go in the opposite
Ryan?
direction if that happens.
Oh,
Right.
tell them the elevator story.
Oh, he
Ryan?
was there for the elevator
Oh,
story.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
I don't
I
know the
forget these-
elevator story.
You don't know the elevator
Yes, she
story?
does. Yes, she does. She's-
If I
When
do,
I
I
went
could
to-
look
are,
up that name.
are you goofing
No,
around? out there?
no, don't put me full screen. It was Mid-South Con. When we
Mhm.
went to Mid-South Con,
Okay.
and our way our table was set up, it was right. One thing I do is always like to set my tables up close
Mhm.
to the bathroom. Basically, because that's one place everybody's got to walk to at least once or twice during the convention,
Or run is the case.
or run.
So it's a good place to catch everybody going by.
Yeah. Well, I get up to go use said facilities, and it's a full house, standing room only.
Oh.
So I head for the elevator and just go to my room. It was on the 13th floor, not 13th, the 14th floor, because there is no 13th floor in this hotel. And we're right off the elevator at the first room off the elevator. Well, as I'm going up, the pressure's building and I'm relieving pressure. I'm venting, trying to keep the pressures right.
Well, that's kind of what rockets do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, the methane
And
is being vented. Yes.
yeah.
Why is Ryan muted?
Because I was checking some chat stuff and I was typing stuff. I didn't want my typing to go over the air because I'm
Well-
trying to be respectful as well as
Yeah.
professional at the same time.
As I'm venting, I step closer and closer to the door so I can launch as quick as possible.
Exactly.
As the door
Run
opens,
order time.
there's this group of I say they were teenagers. They may have been old. You can't tell at cons because they're all dressed in anime and you don't really know. So I bail out around the corner, do my business. As I hear the doors close, I hear, "Oh my God! Oh damn it!" Well, as a I tell this story when we get back home. We'll tell the story on Facebook when I get back home.
Yeah.
Gary Shelton, which is somebody that we know, Dan, John, and Stephanie know.
Mm.
He replied, "Oh my God, that was you! I heard them as they went by," which verifies my story.
As if you needed that one fact checked.
I was gonna say, if you're trying to sell me on coming to HallowCon, this is like doing the complete opposite right now. I don't know if I want to come to
HallowCon is not
HallowCon.
elevator.
There's no elevators.
No elevator in
There's
HallowCon.
no elevators to
Just
HallowCon.
big,
Just like a
open
gas mask
stairwells.
and pretend you're doing steampunk.
Yeah,
Jeez.
but yeah, Stephanie loves that story.
Nice non-subscript sales pitch. Nice.
I take it you were alone in the elevator on the way up.
Yes.
Okay.
It wouldn't have mattered, but yes, he was.
It wouldn't have mattered. No.
No, they'd have bailed off on the next floor.
Yeah,
Just
probably.
hit buttons.
Oh my God, my eyes!
Boy, that's a heck of a story there, Joe Dog. That's a heck of a story if I ever heard one. Wow.
John, was it you telling me the story about the these things?
You mean an aerosol can?
Oh, yes,
Oh.
That.
the air blasters. Yes.
Oh, the air blasters. Excuse me.
Airzuka.
Oh, Air
Yeah.
Zuka. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, I believe John
Somebody-
did tell that story.
That's a new term.
Somebody
I've never
in the
heard that before.
military got hold of one of those,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, you shoot the air bubbles basically across the room.
And
GIs
it'll hit you like a puff of air
Yes,
from 40, 50 feet away.
GIs being GIs, they farted in it and shot it at somebody across the room. Okay.
The lieutenant.
Lieutenant's sitting over there. He's doing his paperwork on his computer and all sorts of stuff like that. And all of a sudden, you see the lieutenant look up like, "Oh God! Oh,
I can taste it.
I think we may have lost Steph. We just broke out too much laughter.
We just broke Steph.
Hey, she needs a laugh.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, I hear you. Some of us have been going through health battles, but keep strong. We believe in you. You can do it.
Oh Lord.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that is a legendary story. Of course, the con that shall not be named here in town that I refuse to be involved with. That was last week or week before last.
Mm-hmm.
As that guy was out promoting, he had one of those, and Corey Feldman was there.
Oh wow. The mouth himself from Goonies. Okay.
Yeah. Long story short, he was to the point of risking jail time to get a hold of this guy, hitting him with the Airzuka from across the dealer's hall, the vendor's hall.
Right, the vendor's hall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they call them in those big things. But
Gotcha.
yeah, it was. I mean, he'd just be sitting there, and all of a sudden, boom! What the hell?
Best not to bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't. He was promoting, so he wasn't. It wasn't his show. Of course, I had one time. I bought one at we have what's known as the world's longest yard sale. It's called the 127 yard sale. Stephanie knows about it. Starts in Gadsden and ends up in Ohio somewhere.
That's a long yard sale, yeah.
Well, it's all along this one highway.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on one stretch of it. Wow.
Yeah.
And,
It's
just
Highway
all these people
127.
that live on this highway. It's one of those old timey highways where it runs through
Really?
communities.
Wow.
Not like a freeway or anything like
Is
that.
this something I should visit somewhere down the line?
Oh yes.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If you're an antique collector, yeah, it's the place to go.
Hmm.
But I
Fair
had
enough.
one time. We were set up, and these people next to us had one, and I went, mine, and bought it. And there was a guy that was across from us. We were aggravating each other all weekend, pretty much all weekend long. But he had this cowboy hat, had this long feather on it.
Hmm.
Every time he'd get up and walk away, and it'd hit that feather, and he'd look around. This went on for 2 days, till finally he caught me. He goes, I thought a bird was attacking me because of the feather.
You might as well be using a piece of electrical conduit and some bottle rockets. It ain't that subtle, Joe.
Well, outside with the wind, it sort of changes the trajectory.
Yes, the vectors do alternate a little bit.
Of course, my best story of that was when we were set up, and I had slag glass. You know what slag glass is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. When I worked with the city, driving dump truck and all that, we were actually having to replace a 150-year-old storm drain through the old Chattanooga glass factory dump. So we're pulling out chunks of slagged glass. And I had some of it. I thought I'd take it up there and sell. And this guy goes, I had one sitting. And one thing I do when I do yard sales, people ask me, I don't put prices on anything. Everybody asks me, what do you want for me? And I say, what do you give me?
How much are you carrying?
Yeah. What would you give me?
How much money are you carrying there, Bill?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, that's the best way to sell stuff, because a lot of times you have one price set in mind, they have another price, and if they ever want to pay more than what you're willing to sell it for, you take it.
Wow.
So this guy says, I don't know, I'll give you $15 for it. Okay. Yeah, sure. I was only going to ask $5. He goes, and when he, I didn't tell him that, but he paid me $15. I got some more in the trunk. He goes, would you take 15 a piece for him? I said, sure.
Really?
He carried a 5-gallon bucket full of this big.
Really?
I paid for my space and everything.
Boy, the list of events or places I need to visit just continues to grow every time I show up on this show.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
The unfortunate thing about that glass slag like that.
And Sarah says she's familiar with it.
Oh, there you go.
Once it gets warm, say if you have a nice pretty piece of it sitting on a coffee table and a beam of sunlight hits it in the summertime,
it's probably not a good thing.
You might have to get your broom and dustpan out later. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is
It's probably not a good idea, is it? No.
Well, this was old Coke bottles and Sprite bottles and
I used to recycle all my glass when I was living up in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
But then when I moved down to
point.
Ringgold, the dump down here, they only take paper products for recycling. They don't do any glass. So now I have to throw away all my beer bottles and stuff. And just or drive 30 miles up in Chattanooga.
Well, with
Really?
all your beer crafter friends, you ought to offer it to them.
I have.
They don't want to wash the bottles.
You
Yeah.
damn well know I have offered my beer bottle.
I know, and I've got quite a collection for when I start my cider up in August.
So I don't like throwing away glass jars.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep them. I've got two 40-gallon totes in the garage full of glass jars, especially what was it, the Bertinelli, I think is his name, spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, Bertolli.
Bertolli, that's the one. It comes in an Atlas Mason style jar. You can actually put Mason.
Yeah,
lids
it's basically
on
a mason jar with a simpler lid. Yeah,
and I use them for tomatoes, but I've got dozens of these things out in the garage. That was my best selling item at the yard yard sale. Was people were buying them for arts and crafts and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
If you ever find, now this is old mason jar, how they have the numbers on them, and you can go by the numbers that will date them. They're usually on the bottom. The most rarest one and the ones that fetch the highest prices are number 13. Because back in the day when they made all the mason jars in order of the numbers, if somebody went out and bought a case of mason jars to do canning with, and here there's a number 13 in them, or there's several, crash. Unlucky. So I'm not saying that very few survive, but any that survive, and of course, condition is everything. It fetches a high price. The Kramer estate sale that we did last August, our boss was telling us this story about that, and so we got looking around. We found 2 of them, and we put them on eBay. One of them sold almost $200.
Damn.
And I can't remember what the other one sold. The other one was a little bit less because
jar,
Yeah, the other one had a little chigger on the bottom edge, and it brought down the price a little bit. But yeah, number 13.
I could buy a few trade paperbacks for $200. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could
being the comic book fan that I am.
Hey Ryan,
Saying.
I joined the Army in '85.
Mm-hmm.
And my first duty station out of basic training was Berlin Brigade.
Oh.
And right over from my company area, they had a Stars and Stripes bookstore. Being a comic book collector, I would go in there and buy comic books. And all the military comic books are kind of funny. If you buy them in Stars and Stripes bookstore, right in the middle of it, they have a ring advertisements for like class rings, but military style class rings.
Yeah.
That was the only difference between them and regular comic books, is that all the ones that were sold in Stars and Stripes bookstores had that ring advertisement in the middle of it.
Interesting.
I left Fort Knox, or I left Berlin Brigade, went to Fort Knox, re-enlisted in the Army, went back to Berlin. That was one of the things I got in my re-enlistment contract, was I want to go back to Berlin Brigade. So went back there, and that's where I really started collecting comics.
Nice.
I have a steamer trunk in the garage filled with comic books.
With that ad in it?
With that ad in it.
Wow.
I wonder if that would affect the value of it.
And you know how most people put their comic books in like the little paper, the plastic sleeves?
Yeah, bags and boards, yeah.
Mine are done by name, like, Spider-Man this, Spider-Man. There were 4 different Spider-Man comic books.
Sure.
But Spider-Man, I have them all inside these Stars and Stripes plastic bags that they sold. All of their all their books came in a Stars and Stripes bag. and it has 2 big American flags on the front. It says Stars and Stripes Bookstore and all sorts of stuff.
Gotcha.
So I'm sitting here. I'm sitting on that. I'm thinking, I got out of the Army in '91, and I've been sitting on those comic books ever since then.
That's 30 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Have you checked them
I
on condition lately?
Want to.
Yeah, you might want to check the conditions because if depending on what they are and depending if they're in good condition or not, you can get them graded.
Right. There is some water damage to them. Not bad.
Well, and just the fact that
Just
they
a
weren't
few.
put in acid-free bags, is
Yeah. If you find some of them that need to be bagged and boarded, you should do that because they could end up being worth some major dough, especially if you get them graded.
The one I know of that's actually worth a little bit of money was where Peter Parker and Mary Jane got married.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like a lead into the Craven's Last Hunt storyline?
I can't remember, but it was like like 200 or 2 or 3. I can't remember. It was 200th anniversary or something like that. Or 200th.
I think I read that too. It may have been part of the Craven's Last Hunt storyline, if I remember correctly.
I used to own that one, but not from Stars and Stripes.
Right.
Yeah.
And being
Came out in the early '90s.
That could be worth some major coin.
Ryan, with that off ad in it being a military issue, would that make it more valuable, less valuable?
I mean,
pain in the ass.
It depends on the market.
Yeah, I'm in no way, shape, or form an expert on this, but it could be worth more, it could be worth less. I don't know. You have to consult someone who knows more about this than I do, because, like I said, I've only been a comic book reader / fan for 5 years, so I'm a rookie compared to everyone else.
Because it would be considered a variant, right?
Yeah, probably.
The last time I bought one of those guides that tell you how much your comic books are worth.
Yeah.
Overstreets, yeah.
Yeah, the Overstreets guide, yeah.
The only reason I bought it was to show my mom how much money she threw in the trash after I joined the Army.
Hey, Mom.
She stopped me at about
that comic book that you threw away? It's worth $250,000.
She stopped me at about $5,000. But
wow,
I had Star Wars comics dating back to episode 1, or
the original, episode 4, yeah.
Do you remember the Star Killer kid? And I'm trying to remember his name. The rabbit, Jax, the big green rabbit.
Jackson.
No, I think it was just Jax.
Well, it's been a long time. Yeah, I had those brand new.
And the hooker he flew around with. And he had a ship that was called the Rabbit's Foot. And he said, well, it's not quite the Millennium Falcon's class, but it'll do.
There was a rabbit that used to be with Rocket Raccoon back when they first put out his first maxi series in the early 80s. And I think he was called Samurai Bunny or something like that. There was a rabbit, and then there was something else, another character, and I can't think about what it was.
That would have been after I gave it when my first wife sold my entire collection going back to 1962.
Oh, and it was Jackson. I was wrong about that.
Oh, it was. Okay. Well, I'm not sure of the worth of that. I mean, I hope you gather them together or get them in bags and boards or whatever the case may be, because those could be worth some serious coin. I mean, perfect example. I just bought my first ever graded comic at my LCS this past weekend. It was The Shadow #1 from 1973 by Denny O'Neil and Kaluta.
I saw that.
That put together the cover and whatnot, and it's graded at a 9.6.
I've got that's like as close as you're gonna get to certain cases as perfect. So. I've got a New Age Jazz album with Michael Kaluta cover on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. No.
You might want to send me a picture of that.
Pilots. It's kind of strange. But that's the music that I went for at the time.
Hey, look how cool this cover looks.
Yeah,
that's number 8.
That's 8. Well, I can't read the subtitle.
1 through 6 were the original Star Wars New Hope comics.
That's pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good looking cover, though.
There were no other Star Wars movies
Yeah, at the
No,
time.
there weren't any Star
At
Wars
the
movies.
time.
There
No.
was just the Star Wars
Just
movies.
the one.
I
And
hear
that was
you.
going to be the only one
Yeah, at the
until
time.
it actually made some money.
That's a good
Barnes
looking
and Barnes and Noble has a Marvel Star Wars omnibus. I
Oh,
think it's 3 volumes because I know that's what I have on it, and I've read the first 2 volumes of it, and
crazy.
there's some really nice original stories that are worth reading.
Doing some light reading there, Bill?
One of the
Just kidding.
characters in that storyline was a guy who he was like Don Quixote. He had a lightsaber and he fought. He was a Jedi Knight, but he had no force powers. So he just ran around. He just ran around with a lightsaber he found.
Hmm.
But he basically lived his life by the Jedi code, even though he didn't have force powers.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, they've hinted at certain characters like that in the animated shows in recent years, but
Well, there was a character like that in Rogue One.
Mhm.
I am one with the Force. The Force is one with me.
yeah, that was
He was not a Jedi. He was just
he was a
force
guardian of the Wills, but his character name was Chirrut Imwe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, people still use that chant to this day. I'm one with the Force, the Force is with. And not that that's a bad thing, because hey, I love Rogue One, so I'm all for it.
Rogue One is
Love
the
it.
best prequel ever made.
See, somebody understands my language here. Yes.
I mean,
Yes, Rogue One's
actually, you could the last 20 minutes of Rogue One,
And then go right into A New Hope.
A New Hope. I mean,
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was
Brilliant.
the way it was made. Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a 1-2 punch. You watch Rogue One for 2.5 hours, and immediately you roll into the classic that is A New Hope, and then you're just like, you're riding on cloud 9. Which, by the way, the original film turns a healthy and young, 45 years young, on May 25th of this very year. And yes, we are going to do a celebration/watch-along of the original film.
The next Star Wars movie that comes out, I want the characters' name to be like Leroy Johnson or Otis Spunkmeyer or something like that.
Maybe there should be a character named Bill Sarton from Artwork Minor.
Well,
Maybe we should do it that
that'd
way.
be too unbelievable.
Oh,
Leroy Jenkins.
the only thing I wish they would, if they do another remaster of A New Hope,
Mhm.
they need to put in the fix it in post scene 38.
Which one is that?
The
What on earth is
Obi-Wan and
that?
Vader fight.
Oh yes.
Oh, you mean the okay,
the
yeah.
extended, the one fix it in post. Yes,
The
exactly.
fan, the
That would be
the
the
fan edit version. Yeah.
the big edit that
That would be a huge, that would make the original film even more awesome.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
What am I missing here?
Well, some fan put together their interpretation, their version of the battle between Vader and Obi-Wan on the Death Star with their lightsaber duel, but they actually made them fight as if they were like still in their prime. Like they weren't moving slowly at 2 miles an hour. No. They were like young bucks just duking it out, trying to find out, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am.
I will
So
find that and I will put it on.
I think it's a 3.5 minute clip, right, John?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's real close. It ties in better with the Rogue One scene
It
than
does.
because
I mean, yeah,
in
Rogue
Star
One,
Wars-
he's like a young buck just tearing everybody apart.
yeah.
basically they're force throwing stuff at each other. They are chopping through walls.
And
They
bits and
are-
pieces of the Death Star.
It makes it look like Obi-Wan actually knew which end of a lightsaber to hold on to.
Yeah.
And then his wasn't flickering towards the end of the sequence like it was in the film.
Yeah.
and
Because
it's
the battery was
it's
dying.
almost 10 minutes. It's 9 minutes 45
9
seconds.
minutes. Thank you. But it's a really good fan edit version. Like whoever put it together was like a master. I'm like, dang, if this was in the original film, this would make the film go to like a 30, if it wasn't already a 10.
It really.
I saw
The Rotten
post-
Tomatoes score would have been like 150.
I think it would have been 105 or 115, right, Dan?
And Ryan, have you seen Star Wars Theory Vader?
There's like a lot of theories about Vader, but
that's the one. That's the YouTube channel Vader.
oh, that one. Don't
Yeah.
think I have, but I can always look it up online.
You've got
What you're about to ask?
Maybe.
Stephanie. Do you have something that you?
Oh, Yeah, I saw an interesting post
think
on
I've seen
Facebook the other day, and
Here we go.
it pointed out that the the last thing that Obi-Wan did as a Jedi before going into hiding was assist in splitting up Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Well,
The
they show that at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but the last thing he sees in life is Luke and Leia
Together.
together.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
I never thought about that.
I did not.
Yeah.
Because he puts his lightsaber up at the very end. He's like, hey, if you strike me down, I'm going to become more powerful. And Darth Vader just,
And,
But
Yeah.
but Obi-Wan
like,
was
I'm
done.
done.
His time was over, and he just put up his light. He's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to move on. And then we hear the immortal "No" from our good friend Luke, aka Mark Hamill. What's up, Mark? I know you're watching right now. It's a good movie. That film is.
He owes me money.
I'll be honest with you. In the last couple of years, during the Sharona Miley Cyrus, I've been rewatching the original films a lot because hey, there's not much to do at the time. And I got to tell you, A New Hope is like I enjoy that film a little bit more and more and more as I watch it. It's pretty good. It still holds up 45 years later.
Well, if you notice, no matter what Luke is actually shooting at after Obi-Wan gets chopped in, gets
Blast the
force
door,
open.
kid.
No, every shot he takes hits something vital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it's not a stormtrooper,
Which he
it's
does
the
hit,
door
though.
lock or anything. But
Pass
it's like
along.
he's not even looking.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
Ryan,
Like
We're going to need to go back and see that again.
while you're buying books,
Which is
go out and get this magazine.
Dude, you know there are two shops that I go to, and they do have back issues of the original, or like the backlogs of Starlog.
You
They
know,
do.
I
Yeah,
remember
this
that,
this is original volume 1, number 7, first of the new movie Star Wars, and if you're really ballsy,
I'll get it.
get this one.
Ooh.
Starlog number 1.
Wow.
Number one.
Yes.
I know the glare's kind of.
No, I can see.
That's
I mean, yeah,
okay.
but I can see it.
I
can see it
remember
clear
when
as day.
Starlog came out, and there
I'd
was
rather.
Yeah.
I mean,
excitement about it.
if I
And
find
I got
some Star
number
Wars-
2 over there too with Space 1999 on it, but
That's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
they're
If I find some
actually-
Starlog, I'll
Okay,
go
I
Believe
like
it or
Space
not, they're-
1999. I didn't like that butt you added to it.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
the I got these a few years ago. Of course, I had all of them up through, I think, issue 34, 35, something like that, before I thought things were getting less and less interesting and the prices were going up higher because
We'll tie
back
this in.
then, here, $1.50, for them.
Yeah.
But actually, you can go on eBay and I got mine. They were a little pricey, but they weren't half as bad as what I thought they were going to be. And these are excellent condition. They're near mint, so that's why they automatically went into a frame so that they would stay that way in non-glare glass. And if I get the thing hung back up,
Okay, Ron, are you in the group chat?
Yeah.
For where I send links
Yes.
to the show?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
there. Yes, I am.
I just put it's called Vader Episode 1, Shards of the Past.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, you got to watch that. That,
Well, I got to watch that. I got to buy this. I got to buy that. Geez, I'm not going to have any money by the time I get to Fan Expo in Philadelphia next month, or if I decide to go to Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta, Georgia in the month of June.
oh, you'll be in Atlanta?
Potentially. I got a package in the mail, and one of the things I bought during this Shop at Home event was they gave me 2 free passes to Ranger Stop and Pop, which is held on June 10th through the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm
Where
like,
at? Does it say?
at the Sheridan something? It's in Atlanta. It's Ranger Stop and Pop, and it's at the Sheridan
I'm sorry,
Atlanta
but
Hotel. something like
Atlanta
that.
covers a wide acreage.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't have the info on the back of my thing here, but it's Ranger Stop and Pop. That's the name of the convention. It's June 10th through the 12th in Atlanta. But
It
Let
does
me
take
know.
about 5 counties. You know?
yeah, that's like 500 different counties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're going or whatever, and I'll make a day trip down. Maybe grab John and
Yeah.
take him with me.
Good question. I'm trying to.
Grab me where?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Drag you to Atlanta.
It's at the
Oh, there
Sheraton
goes-
Atlanta. By the way, I just found it. It's at the Sheraton Atlanta Hotel on Cortlandt Street, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia. Sheraton Atlanta Hotel. That's the venue.
Would that be downtown?
All it says, it's at Cortlandt Street, wherever that is. Cortlandt Street. Does anyone ring a bell?
Make me
I don't
look
know.
up everything, aren't you?
I'm sorry, but I'm Googling it, and I just got
I
to the
know.
website, and this is what it says.
Yeah, Sheridan.
They got a great guest list, by the way. If you grew up in the '90s or you're a fan of anime and manga, they got a really good guest list. It's really good.
The one on Cortlandt Street. All right, let's see here.
Mm-hmm. It says Sheraton Atlanta Hotel.
Yeah, that's about 2 blocks from Hilton, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's downtown Atlanta. Well, shoot. What's the dates on it?
June 10th through the 12th is what
Good.
it says
Hey,
here
wait a minute. I've stayed there.
on the set. Oh,
Well,
you stayed at this hotel or the
Yeah,
venue?
well, it's not really a hotel. It's more of a motel. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, this is where it is. So
It is Atlanta.
it is Hotlanta after all.
Do you got to pay for parking there?
That's kind of a
If you
Little
don't
bit.
know, you can always stop and ask somebody, and they say, "Yeah, you go 2 blocks down that way where that guy's mugging that old man down
No.
there, and then
No,
rolling the hobos, and
no,
then make a right-hand turn, and then just listen for the gunshots."
no.
No, it's not that part of Atlanta.
Yeah,
not that part of Atlanta.
But you probably
Bill-
will get asked for money.
yeah. The
Oh,
bill
that's-
here's the description. You turn left at the 3rd peach tree.
You turn
It's on
left at
Peachtree something. Yeah.
Wow. By the way, if anyone's curious, I did post the link to the convention in the private chat in case anyone wants to look that up. Just saying.
Oh, is it time for Stupid Geographic?
Nope. There's the Hilton.
There it is.
There's the Sheraton.
Oh.
Sheraton, if I remember, one year this
There's
was
Sheridan on it.
This was where operations was for Dragon Con.
Well, there you go.
This is where you went if you wanted to buy your badge for Dragon Con. Was in the basement of this building.
Well, that's where Ranger Stop and Pop is going to be held. So hopefully I can get someone to go with me because I got 2 free tickets. So I don't want them to necessarily go to waste.
Take Stephanie. She needs to get out of the house.
I could be talked into it.
June.
Oh,
Wait a
God.
minute. June what?
Never
It's-
mind. He that told me all I needed to know.
It's
You know, that's
it's a bunch of anime actors and a bunch of Power Ranger actors that are going to be at this convention. Just to be clear,
What's the dates again?
June 10th through June the 12th.
Okay.
Is that
Wait a minute,
Liberty
wait a minute.
Con?
You need to
Ryan. What is the name of this? It's
It's called Ranger Stop and Pop. Ranger Stop and Pop is the name of the convention, and I put the link in the private chat here on StreamYard if anyone's looking at that.
Oh, found it. Hang on a second. Ranger
It's
Stop and
there.
Pop.
It's right there. It's right there in the
I
chat.
think we had an old convenience store in Cherokee with that name.
Really? Wow.
Used to go there to get orange push-ups and Mountain Dew.
Well, it is called Ranger Stop and Pop, so that's the name of the
See,
convention.
June 10th to the
Just
12th,
the Rangers
2022.
So, a lot of Power Rangers.
A lot of Power Rangers.
And a lot of anime actors, people who have voiced anime characters in the series.
And it looks like one of the former Power Rangers is in one of the Star Trek series coming up.
I wonder which one, because I feel like didn't I hear someone of those?
She was a
cast?
Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, but there's like been 50 of those.
Yeah.
I wish which Yellow Ranger specifically is going to be on this show. Now you got me curious.
Joe, that's like saying they're going to have a Catwoman there.
I know,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. Or Becky from Roseanne is going to be
Naka
there.
Barus. Does that?
Doesn't ring a bell. I'm so sorry, Joe.
I
Joe.
have shared the Ranger Stop and Pop.
All right, guys.
there.
I got to take a run for a minute. If I'm not back by show end, close it up. I'll be back.
Thank you,
Well,
Joe
thanks,
Dog.
Joe. You
Wish
have
him
an
the best.
We've
Whatever.
got 25 minutes. It's going to
Well,
take that long.
well, he's got to pay some bills and take some commercial breaks. So let's let
Test
the man
some
have his
porcelain.
day.
He's going to have to do an awful lot of paperwork.
I know that's a lot of sponsorships you have to pay for. But yeah, so I got
Hopefully
these
he
two
has
free.
a full roll.
Yeah, so I got these 2 free tickets. I don't want them to go to waste, and I'm really hoping someone could go with me because I really want to go to this con. I want to go to some conventions this year. I really do because I want to get back into normalcy to a certain extent again. So let's have fun at conventions, folks. That's what I want to do. So we shall see.
Highly overrated.
I know, seriously. I mean, whether it's in Philadelphia or Atlanta, I want to go to both or go to one of them. I just.
Oh
Yeah.
Lord, my wife wants to go back to Philadelphia when it's the next thing that my service anniversary at work.
Oh.
I'm going, honey.
Do you know when that is?
You
know what month that takes place in? Do we have a date for that?
What, in Philadelphia?
No, well, yeah, when you're going.
You
know when you're going?
It would be.
You remember?
Quite possibly October or November of this year.
Oh, towards the end of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Because the convention I want to go to is in the first weekend of April. It's April 8th through the 10th.
No. And if I went to this thing for work, it would be highly organized by management, and I would not get a chance to sneak away and do anything fun.
Really? Fair enough.
Last time, several years back, we went, and the only thing that I got to do that was fun was run up the Philadelphia courthouse, stand in Sylvester Stallone's footsteps.
The Rocky Steps.
Yeah,
the Rocky Steps. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
I
have to do that too.
I mean, nobody thought a 16-year-old run up those steps and jump up and down in those footsteps, but I did, and still made it down in time to catch the bus to go to the next
museum there you go.
Or whatever it was.
I wanted to.
Just a little bit.
You should.
I wanted to rock.
I hope to do it too.
I wanted to walk in Sylvester Stallone's footsteps too, but he kept screaming at me to get off his feet.
Well, if you take the time and he's not wearing flip-flops.
Well, can't help it if I had high heels on at the time. I was in my Gene Simmons phase.
Oh. Well, at least it wasn't when you were doing your Cheech and Chong phase and you had an earache.
Well, and I had to get rid of my stacks that had the little goldfish swimming around in the heel because I've sprung a leak.
Oh, jeez.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way.
That's
okay.
Yeah. Gee willikers.
My favorite part of that whole thing was Isaac Hayes putting all the guns in thing and comes walking out, and there's a bullet laying on the ground. He slips on the bullet, falls down, and all the guns start going off for like 5 minutes.
Yikes.
Okay, sorry about that.
Hey, he's back.
There you go.
And here we thought you weren't going to be able to make it back in time.
We didn't say anything about you while you were gone.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
You had to take a commercial break, pay some bills.
Other than wondering who's going to have to clean the bathroom afterwards, but no, anyway.
I don't know who makes his toilet, but that's a company I want to buy stock in.
Man.
Oh, John.
Kevlar.
No, I'm gonna tell you, I gotta get something else because this thing ain't handling. That's too much information.
Boy,
I say go with ABS plastic, what they use to make truck bed liners. With.
I was going to say, this conversation just took a dark turn. Am I right, Dan? Probably.
I think that was TMI for Stephanie.
I was going to say, I think it's TMI for half of this panel.
I was
anyway.
thinking thinking in terms of heat shielding.
Thanks, John.
Joe has to buy prison toilets.
Little bitty tiles.
This just in on the news. A Russian businessman has offered a $1 million bounty on Putin's head.
Good.
Have to be his body. I could use $1 million.
I'm not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the Russian the Russian mafia is suffering right now because their funding has been cut off.
Oh, yeah.
If there's anything more powerful than the Russian government, it's the Russian mafia.
Mob. Yeah.
So,
and they make Al Capone look like just a
That's
guy.
why the Russian space program is down in Kazakhstan. Because that's the only way they keep the Russian mob out of it.
Wow. Geography.
I saw that, Stephanie.
No, Stephanie knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know where that.
Turkestan, yes, indeed.
So, yeah, never mind. I got nothing.
I kid you not.
I'm drawing a blank, man.
Ryan, speechless? Boy, this is a first.
Well, you know.
Just talk about Russia.
We need to mark this.
Sure, go ahead. Mark it down. Put it in your journal for this evening's festivities.
Hey,
I don't know.
Ryan, just imagine we're talking about Rocket Red comic or something.
I've got it written in a journal over here about that time Skunk did that thing that we were supposed to remember. There's just one problem. I didn't write down in the journal what it was that Skunk did that we were supposed to remember. I just have the date and Skunk and, remember. Yeah.
Too bad you don't have all the specifics on that one.
I blew it. Oh, yeah.
What was the date?
Does anyone remember the date?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'd have to dig through some paperwork.
Oh, that's.
Oh Lord, John.
John, what do they call that?
John,
that's a mountain full of paperwork, John.
John, you're taking notes on the show. Dear God, we're.
Joe Dog, I don't think there's necessarily a problem with someone taking notes.
Hey, pay taxes on it. It's all right.
Is anyone else taking notes? John, at least John's doing it.
I'm taking notes because the FBI is giving me a little money to take notes.
If you take notes.
Snitch.
Oh, God.
Snitches get stitches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Hey.
This is taking some turn.
It ain't snitching if they were watching anyway.
Well,
it ain't surveillance if they click like and subscribe,
Or if they click like, share, comment, and subscribe. If they do that in that order, that sounds about right. Anyone else agree with me? I hope Dan does.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Isn't that what I'd always tell people on my show? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do all that stuff.
I believe so, yes. Indeed.
I always do because you have to hashtag always promote your stuff.
We had one guy at work that always used the thing of, I don't snitch. I just ask the bosses if they know this happened.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not snitching if you ask them, did they know? If they didn't know, then they got right. And Ryan's out. Ryan's gone with that one.
Run away.
Of course, when he said Red Rocket, that made me think of the South Park episode.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
I was trying to bring it into perspective for him, but apparently it didn't work.
I think Dan watched that episode. Dan watched that episode.
I've watched several.
Hopefully Stephanie has it, because that just wasn't proper to be spoken in the presence of a woman or of a lady.
It wasn't proper to be spoken in the presence of a human.
Oh well.
Then again, it was South Park.
Yes, it was. That's why it's not.
Oh.
So, Stephanie, I got something to ask you that I vaguely remember hearing on WBBM. They've been talking lately about earthquakes again on the West Coast. Without getting specific with everything, because I've slept since then. They're talking a lot of doom and gloom, saying this is more powerful than 18 atomic bombs and people are going to die and California is going to be separated and I guess join Atlantis or something or whatever. And these people are serious about it. And BBM.
Everything you just said is wrong.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Stephanie, answer this for me. If California slid in the ocean, so could North Carolina and Florida be worried about rising tide waters?
That's a good question.
I could answer that, but it would be so
It's not
greener
this
if I
kind
can't
of
do
a
it.
fault.
Yeah.
So it's
This kind
different.
of a fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
California and the San Andreas fault line slides like this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It doesn't do this. If it did this, yes, it would fall off into the ocean. But
Yeah.
we can only now if we all in the eastern part of the United States jumped up and down at the same time, we might get that to happen. But
I understood that
I
reference.
seen Bugs Bunny cut Florida off with a saw before, so don't tell me it can't happen.
Was he wearing a Warner Brothers ball cap?
No.
No.
Bummer. Because you can't do anything without wearing a Warner Brothers bull cap,
Yeah.
as the commercial like to tell us in 1989's Batman.
No, this story, the only reason why it kind of, I won't say interested me, but got my attention was because I heard it on WBBM News Radio out of Chicago, which typically would not air those type of National Geographic style rhetoric in their stories, and that they're usually pretty cut and dry.
Enquirer, not National Geographic.
As if
Or National Enquirer.
As if there
Well,
isn't
who
enough
knows
evidence
anymore with
already.
National Geographic even, but the star, the sun.
There's the moon too. Don't forget about him. He has feelings, you know.
He was a great drummer for The Who.
Exactly.
My favorite.
The Who? No, oh yeah, you mean the band that's called The Who? Yeah, I know that reference.
Keith Moon.
Moon the Loon.
I know what you mean. I've listened to some of that music, not a lot of it, but I've heard some of it.
You need to listen.
I know. There's a lot of things I need. Listen, I'm a young buck. There's a couple of things I need to be educated on. As I continue my education, it's fine.
You
I know
will
you're using-
listen to The Who.
I know your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me, boy. It's bantha fodder.
Oh,
if anyone
these are
understood
my-
that reference, bless your heart.
These are my Pete Townsend mind tricks.
You don't need to see his identification. Move
No.
along.
That's a little
Move
bit
along.
wider of a circle there.
Oh, that's
I was gonna
right.
say-
I keep
was gonna
forgetting.
say, Bill, you need to move
Windmill.
Yeah.
Move along, Bill.
You got
Okay,
Can't
there we
wait
go.
for the new Babylon 5.
Yeah, Bill, we'll see you in the cantina. We'll get you a drink or something.
And
Just make
Pete
sure you-
used a wreck like this for a while.
Just make sure you don't bring droids into the cantina. They don't serve their kind here. They'll have to wait outside.
That was so rude.
Yeah,
I know that bartender was a little off.
No, well,
Oh.
have you ever read?
How
his
about
backstory,
Droney?
though?
Yeah, we can bring him in.
There
he's
is
a creature.
actually a backstory for that bartender where he lost all his family during the Clone Wars to droids.
Whoa.
Huh.
So that's why he didn't like
He
3PO and
hates
R2D2.
droids. Yeah,
That's a good backstory, actually.
it's. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's kind
Well,
of.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense about why he doesn't like droids to begin with. When you see
We
him in
don't
that
serve
scene,
their
it's kind of like,
kind
well,
in
what does he
there.
have against droids? All they do is do other people's jobs. You know? We don't serve their kind here.
Now, Ryan, did you know John Wayne was part of the original Star Wars?
I don't think so, but now that, hey, you know, fun facts. The more you know on
Yeah.
the show.
The snitch that told where the droids went,
Yeah,
that was John Wayne's voice.
no kidding.
Yeah.
That's
The
Yeah.
sound producer or whatever said that he pulled it out and it was, I forgot what movie he said it was from, but he used it from another movie.
no
Why
kidding.
they went that away,
Yeah, they went
or
this
that
way.
away, or that away.
Well, they went through Docu Bay 94.
People do say
90
they
94.
go both ways.
And then they went to Docu Bay 94, and then he says, "All right, man, load your weapons." That sounds about right. I love that movie. Gosh, man, A New Hope is so good.
Well, I'm
Now
not
let me
gonna
ask
hit you.
let me ask you which New Hope.
No, I like it. Listen, I understand people's complaints about the special editions. Now, granted, I have not seen the most recent version of A New Hope that they've posted on Disney Plus because I know they've added and changed stuff up, and I don't care much for that. But I do like the original version. I do like the '97 special edition version. I'm all right with that. Doesn't really bother me. But you know, either one of those two, I'll take. I still
Now,
have them too, by the way.
now I have on Blu-ray the despecialized editions.
I do too, Joe Dog. It's okay.
All right, let me read this real quick. John Wayne was an American actor. He provided the voice of Imperial spy Garindon
Rendon.
in Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope via stock audio, making this his last film role before his death.
Was he credited for it though?
No.
I don't think he was.
They're changing that.
Then the Shoot Us was his last film role before.
No, they're changing it.
Yeah. Oh, they are changing it, Joe Dog. Okay.
They are
because he admitted it. Because he came out.
His grandson, John Wayne's grandson, Brendan Wayne, is an American actor who served as a body double for Din Djarin in all 8 episodes of the first season of The Mandalorian.
Boy, the more we learn on this show, my goodness gracious.
Hey,
is Patrick Wayne still alive? I wonder. Speaking of sons of John Wayne.
He is John Wayne's oldest son, and he was running a movie production company, and I do not know if he's actually alive.
Anybody else know? No,
yeah, he was. Now, I know that he was in Big Jake with John Wayne.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't?
No.
What was it?
Patrick.
Well, Chris knows what's up. A New Hope is awesome.
That's what I'm talking
about. Michael or Patrick?
I'm talking about Patrick Wayne.
Patrick was the good-looking kid that was in Big Jake.
Right.
Michael was the one that ran his production company.
Okay. Yeah. But I was thinking that Patrick might have been in another one or had something to do with another.
And Michael Wayne is dead.
Oh,
Michael is dead.
Oh, Patrick Wayne is still alive?
Patrick Wayne is still alive.
That's wow.
Did he have anything to do with the Shoot Us in '76?
Let me see.
Which I still say is John Wayne's last film.
So.
Oh, that came out the year before New Hope.
Because he was already doing the Sinbad stuff. So. About that same time.
Is anyone on May 25th? Not only is it the 45th anniversary of the original, the OG Star Wars, but I'm just curious. Is anyone excited for also on May 25th? They're going to debut the new series on Disney Plus known as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is anyone looking forward to that?
I am.
Don't know anything about it, but I'm interested. And Sarah Heiser said that something about he might have been in McClintock.
May have been.
That might have been.
He was in McClintock. He played Devlin Warren. He was in the Alamo. He played Captain James Butler, Comanchero. He was in a lot of John Wayne's movies. But, let me see.
Oh, do you know what Davy Crockett
got? Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger.
Oh, jeez.
Rustler's Rhapsody. Young Gun. He played Pat Garrett in the Young Gun.
Which one was in Sinbad?
Oh, really?
The movie Sinbad. The
Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. He played Sinbad.
Yeah, but who was in it? Who was the star? Was it Patrick Wayne?
Oh, Patrick Wayne. Sorry.
Because Patrick Wayne was at a convention a few years. I think he was at a convention a few years ago of mine here that's locally, and he was there. They mentioned somebody from the Sinbad movie, and I'm like, wait a minute, who was? I think it was Patrick Wayne that was there. I was like, geez, that's amazing.
Patrick Wayne was in the movie Mr. Rogers, or Mr. Roberts.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
I did not know that.
Now, y'all talking about the Alamo. Do you know what Davy Crockett said that morning when they looked over the wall and saw all the Mexicans around them?
What did he say?
Who ordered concrete?
Boy, that could be taken a couple of different ways.
I thought he was going to say.
Wow. Thanks. That was okay. That came out of no man's land, but all right.
It's supposed to. It's part of the show.
It's a nice little intro / segue, if I do say so myself.
It's a 5-minute warning.
Skunk came up with that one, just so you know.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting stuff. Wow. Okay. Well, just thought I'd ask the immortal question: is anyone looking forward to a series about a character we've already know pretty much everything about, but yet they're doing it anyway? And it drops on May 25th with Obi-Wan Kenobi, with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen returning to their iconic, maybe not so iconic roles of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. There you go.
Now let me ask you this: how many of y'all still walk up to these sliding doors, automatic sliding doors, and as you get there, you go,
"Yeah."
No.
What I was checking something out.
Sure.
You go what?
When you walk up to the automatic sliding doors, do you go?
Use your force powers.
No, I just go.
I just walk up and they open automatically. I don't have to wave my magic fingers.
Joe Dog, do you remember before they had the electronic eye that was over the door, there used to be back
The
in
mat?
the day a platform
Doorman.
that you stood
Yeah.
on?
The
Mm.
pressure
open it.
pads. Yeah, the
Yeah.
pressure pads.
I do make it a point to thank the door.
And you used to have to stomp
for
on them
physically
sometimes.
opening for me.
Really?
My
Thank you.
grandmother,
Yeah.
my grandmother was going into a St. Joe IGA, I think, grocery store that had one of those at the time. It malfunctioned. She walked right into the door and almost busted her nose. And
Ooh.
needless to say, they had a lawsuit against them, and she won.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
John, the Save a Lot in Red Bank still has those type doors.
The
Wow.
man operated doors.
Yeah.
There's only one problem with that statement, Joe.
What?
There's not a Save-A-Lot in Red Bank anymore.
Yeah, there is.
I thought they closed it. We
No.
just talked about that on the show like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I wasn't here. If they closed it, I'm going to be heartbroken because it was the one that used to be the Kroger that turned into the Red Food that turned into a Bilo. Now it's a Save a Lot.
Yeah, you're the one that told us this.
No, I didn't.
All that and more on the next episode of Stupid O'Clock.
Pull out your notes. All right. It's time to say goodnight, everybody.
Jeez, this
Good
was
night,
fun.
everybody.
Vaya
Fun
con Dios,
today.
amigos.
Going
Thanks for
nuts.
having us.
Good
Check
night,
out the
everybody.
artwork of Bill Sarton on Facebook. He's got a lot of great things going on.
And
there.
go to Ryan's page and do his Ryan stuff.
Yeah, added
Yeah.
Snurr Culture. Check us out on all forms of social media. New
All
stuff
right.
is added every week.
I got books.
Right,
Yeah.
Ryan,
All right. Bye,
I
y'all.
got nothing.
Ryan, post a
Oh, I have slept the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.